Hello and welcome to Naturally You. I'm Ashley Pappas and I'm excited to be here with you today. So, today I'm going to do my first official 40 to 40 check in. Before that, though, I want to give you a little bit of background, kind of what led me to do the 40 to 40 and how everything just kind of unfolded. First of all, over 10 years ago, probably like 13 or 14 years ago, I lost over 100 pounds. And I kept it off for a very long time up until when I started having womanly problems and was put on hormones to try to prevent surgery. And so when that happened, it was quite the wild ride. So let's see, back in 2017, I'd kept the weight off for probably about 7 years at this point. My head is right in my elbow. So, okay, so this is me in 2017, in July of 2017. A month before kind of the breaking point that made me realize that, okay, I have to do something about this because I don't want to always be like in agonizing pain. So this was me up until that point. I'd put on like maybe 10, 15 pounds from when I originally lost the 100 pounds. And actually, it was closer to like maybe 115, 120. But, anyways, I digress. So, I had put on about 10 or 15 pounds, primarily because me and my husband were trying to have a baby for a while. So, wanted to put a little extra weight on just for that reason. And so, that was a month before the breaking point. And then this one here was about 2 weeks before the breaking point. This was actually on a trip with my daughter to Florida. And so, like, as you could see, I kept the weight off really well. Didn't have to change my eating habits a lot. And yeah, life was good. And this was a year after I started taking this was actually, yeah, this was right around a year and 2 weeks after I started taking very mild hormones, something to just try to help regulate everything. Again, the whole point was to avoid surgery, but this was a little bit of a year after that last picture was taken. And so this was in September of 2018. As you can see, I didn't really put on a whole lot of weight. I think maybe I'd put on 10 pounds, like between 8 and 10 pounds. Wasn't super aggressive, but it also didn't work, which led to, let's see. Okay, so this was in September, and I'm going to squeeze myself right in here. This was in March of 2019. This was after being put on the more aggressive hormones, the progesterone, where I was gaining between 2 and 4 pounds a week, and very close to the weight I am now. Might have been a little heavier, but as you can see, like there's a big difference, and this is less than a 6 month span right here. And so this is where all of the hormonal hell really came to reign in, and that was really difficult because it became harder to really feel comfortable in my own skin. But more than anything, like between these two pictures, actually right before the one on, let's see, the one with the white shirt before was taken, I had started playing ice hockey again. And so between these two pictures, I was actually more active. Like I was playing hockey probably like between 2 and sometimes 5 times a week. And it was very, very frustrating, but I knew that it served a purpose. I knew that I was on those hormones for a reason, and I was trying to get things under control, not to have surgery. And because of the hormonal adjustments, I wasn't really going to try too hard to fight the weight gain because my eating habits hadn't changed. So I was just along for the ride, and it really sucked. Now, this picture here, this is actually, oh my gosh, this is May of 2019. This is less than a month after I had my hysterectomy. As you can see, I am strategically holding the cup over my stomach. because I was uncomfortable. I looked through to find pictures for this, and I found very few between that last picture and this one that were full body shots. And it's, it is what it is. But it's just that insecurity that came from it. And I think more than anything, it was also not feeling confident in my body, because one of the greatest things that I gained when I initially lost the weight is being able to move, like being able to jump on my pogo stick and to go to the trampoline park with my kids and to go running and not have any pain. Well, okay, like my knees would kind of ache, but really not any pain. And I also have a connective tissue disorder and a nervous system disorder. Um, so that's adds a few other challenges, but um, that's also added some of the frustration. I've gotten bone spurs in my ankles around the top of my feet, and I know that the added weight on it just aggravates it. And so it's very frustrating because between, this picture here and the picture less than 10 months before, the eating habits hadn't changed. The activity levels had actually gone up, but I was in hormonal hell. And at this point, right here, I had made the decision that I was going to wait a year. I was going to give my body a year to heal and to recover from the surgery, because it's a major surgery. Like, parts are taken out. The majority of my hormone making matter is gone now. And um, I wanted to give my body a full chance to heal. And so I decided that I was going to wait a year and let things level out. And then I would really, put the time, put the effort, put the focus into figuring out how to shed the weight and be lighter on my feet. And then a year passed. I actually had the hysterectomy on April 15th of 2019. And so this picture was actually taken March 1st of 2020. And this was 4 days before the first COVID case here in Omaha hit. So by the time the 1 year had passed, we all know what was going on. We were in the very early stages of COVID, and the year had passed. I had made the decision that I was going to put the time and the focus into taking off the hormonal hell weight, but I made a different decision. If you've been following me for a while, if we know each other, then you've probably listened to Stress Free Naturally, either on its YouTube channel or on its podcast. But professionally, I work in stress management, I work in self-love, and I saw that just with the world's environment and the way that everything was unfolding, that it was really important to put more effort and to put more into um, being able to help with stress, and by providing meditation and different coping tools. And so I decided to put my energy there. Now, when April 15th of this year rolled around, I realized that an entire year had passed since since the 1 year mark had come and gone. And so I was, at the 2 year mark at this point, and I was still carrying this weight, which I wasn't super comfortable with. I was starting to realize that I really wanted to, um, start doing more on camera. I wanted to come to you through here, and I really didn't feel comfortable. And a lot of that had to do with my weight. A lot of that had to do with kind of the negative feelings um, and shame, because I had made this decision, a year had passed, and I hadn't taken action. And on top of that, like, I'm a personal trainer and I'm a weight loss specialist, and, all of these different stigmas that I just kind of unconsciously grabbed onto and like started like carrying with me. And so I decided that I'm just going to go into it head on and I'm going to do it right here with you. I'm going to do it right in front of you. And so a couple of weeks ago, I decided that I was going to do the 40 to 40 challenge because I turned 40 on September 9th and I don't want to take all of this weight with me. I know that it's unrealistic to expect to be where I was before the hormone therapy, where I was 2.5 years ago. But I want to have a good start on that. I want to go into my 40s where I don't have to wear my foot brace as much. If I go running, I want to be able to feel more comfortable and confident in my body. It's something that, is important to me to put my money where my mouth is and practice what I preach. I'm not going to sit here and say that, I've been struggling the past 2 years trying to lose weight because the fact is I haven't been trying because I know that it's not necessarily going to be the same journey as it was the first time. That the things that I did, 13 years ago, 14 years ago, those aren't going to be as effective right now because I'm postmenopausal now. So the game's changed a little bit. It's still the same game. We're just playing in a different arena with different players, and they're a little older, they're a little slower. And oh my gosh, it is just, I know that there's going to be unexpected challenges ahead. And speaking of that, I'm going to share with you my starting point, which is it's hard. I started out 2 weeks ago at 211 pounds. Now, when I originally lost the weight, I remember telling myself that there's no way, no how, I'm never going to see that 200 number ever again. Now, let me tell you, that's like daring the universe. It's like saying to the universe, okay, you know what? I dare you. I dare you. And you know what happens? It says, oh, guess what? Let's play, little girl. And here we are. So I know that the things that I did before, because before, I started with just watching what I was eating, making simple swaps. And I have learned stuff from that. And so I've already put that into effect. Before the first time I really had an issue with sugar, with junk food, with candy. And so I made the swap anytime that I wanted to run through like fast food, anytime that I wanted to go to the gas station and grab, some of that gas station like impulse crap. I'd have apples with me and I just eat an apple. And then I start adding in fruits and stuff like that. And I'll share more about that later. But I just kind of want to stay on kind of with the 40 and 40 thing. But the things that I'm doing now is that I've completely cut out any kind of sweets. I'm not doing any candies, any pastries, any baked goods. Here's the deal. I'm a recovering alcoholic. And beyond that, I take everything to the extreme. When I have feelings, it's easy for me to turn to sweets. So I'm just giving up sweets altogether. For some people, it sounds extreme. And for other people, it's literally the only way to get it under control. And so for me, if I'm eating sweets in any capacity, it is setting myself up for failure. And to be honest, I feel better when I'm not eating it. So it's like, why would I anyways? The first probably 5 to 7 days really sucked, but it's all good now. It's, I think I had a craving for sweets a couple days ago, so I had a little dried pineapple and it was fine. But that's one big thing I've done. And then the first time I did not do any kind of exercise. I only did walking occasionally. And so I'm making sure that I'm walking for about 30 minutes a day, but I'm not really doing a whole lot with that. I'm doing very light resistance training just to maintain my muscle tone, but I'm making sure that I'm not adding anything in then that wasn't there 3 weeks ago. And then the biggest thing that I'm doing is that I'm tracking every single thing that goes into my body. That was by far the most effective thing, just hands down, because it's really easy to say, like, well, I don't really feel like I ate a lot. And then having eaten like 2 days worth of food, like I just fueled my body for 2 days, but I don't think I ate a lot, right? Our memories are funny like that. So I'm logging everything I eat. I'm trying to stick to 1,290 calories a day, and I've been pretty meticulous at it. I have not gone more than 150 calories over goal in the past 2 weeks, and my weigh-in last week was 200 and it was 207 pounds. And then this week I am right at 204.1. Now, I got a little wild hair throughout the week and I weighed myself and it was like 202.9, and so like seeing it today was kind of like because I did have such just that attachment with that 200 number, and I'm just like, "Oh, I just want to go under it." I know that this kind of momentum isn't going to stick because it's not realistic. And I know that it will level out and it will slow down and it will probably, do the little cha-cha here and there. But right now, I'm looking mostly at what I'm eating. I'm making sure that I'm eating nutritious foods. I'm making sure that I'm logging everything. And I'm making sure that I'm not only not going over, but I'm making sure that I'm not going under, because that will also affect things. What else do I have for you today? Yes, I want to share with you, and this is something that I wanted to share with you today because I've already started to see it. So, one of the reasons that people get discouraged when losing weight and give up, and when I first went through it, I thought it was just me, but then working as a weight loss specialist and seeing how many other people also have this issue, this completely depends on your body type. So, this may or may not be you. And there are body types out there where if you lose weight, it comes from the chest first. Now, when that happens, you're making progress. The mass of your body is going down, right? It's great. Except when you look in the mirror, the difference between your chest and your stomach is actually like, it's less of a difference. And so it actually makes your stomach look bigger. So, okay, you put in all this work and you're like, okay, yes, yes. And you look in the mirror and you're like, what the actual hell? That's what's going on. And it's okay because it levels out. For me, it looks something like, okay, the chest goes and then the stomach catches up, and then the chest goes and the stomach catches up, and then the chest goes and the stomach catches up, and then my chest goes, and it's just like straight up and down. But that's okay. I don't mind being flat chested. Makes running a whole lot easier, makes, I don't know, gravity a lot easier, right? But yeah, a lot of people look in the mirror and they see that, and they don't realize that the reason that their stomach looks bigger is actually because they've lost fat from their chest, and so there are body types that's the first place that the fat is taken from, and it's unfortunate, but it's progress and it does catch up and it does level out. So if you are one of those types, be aware of it. And if you see it happening, just say to yourself, this means I'm making progress. Like, keep going. It's going to be okay. It's going to level out. You're going to get there. I'm so excited to share this journey with you. And this is like a whole level of uncomfortable for me, but I know that um, I want to practice what I preach. And I want to be open with it. And I want to show you that it's not something to be ashamed of. You know, it happens. But the thing is that I want to feel comfortable in my skin. I want to look better naked. I want to have the freedom to run and jump and not worry about my joints hurting or making my the the splints or whatever in my feet flare up and not being able to walk for a few days. I don't want to worry about that stuff. I want to feel good in my clothing. And oh my gosh, I want my clothing back. That's a whole other video. um, but anyways, I am so excited for this. And if you have any weight that you want to lose, it doesn't have to be 40 pounds. Feel free to join in. You can tag me with the 40 to 40 challenge hashtag. You can share it in the comments here. You can go to Naturally Ashley on Instagram, and Ashley's with an IE, and share it there and tag me. But yeah, I'm going to be also, yeah. If you go to stressfreenaturally.com/community, you can join my free community, and you can also participate there. In the next couple of weeks, I'll be coming up with kind of a special private space for us to all kind of go after this together. Even if you just want to support the cause, you are more than welcome to join in. I just want to be here sharing this with you because it's nothing to be ashamed of. And I just want to share with you, like, I know this isn't going to be easy. I know that there are times that, today I'm like, oh yeah, the past 2 weeks have gone great. Like all of this has been made. Well, guess what? I don't really, body wise, I don't feel it a whole lot because it came from my chest. And so I just want to show you that the process isn't all rainbows and butterflies, and that it's a human thing. So I just wanted to kind of open up my curtains and show you guys behind the scenes. And I feel like this is a really good way to get over my shit with getting in front of the camera, and also kind of showing you that if this is something that you struggle with, like, it can be done, and it doesn't mean any. Don't be afraid to get up in front. Don't be afraid to love yourself. Don't be afraid to be naturally you, because who you are is amazing. And just because I didn't decide a year ago that it was the time for me to put the focus into it, it doesn't mean any less of me. It just means that my priority wasn't there at the time, and it is now. I will be back to check in next week, if not sooner. Until then, don't be afraid to be naturally you. Make sure to hit subscribe so you get all of the future check-ins and any of the future videos. I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.